Have you ever wondered why you are the way you are? Like, why do you have certain tendencies or characteristics or even physical attributes? Well, in this video, we'll take a look at something called the doshas and how they determine what makes you, you. Hey there, I'm Katie. I am a certified teacher of Ayurveda and a yoga instructor. And on this channel, I post videos all about creating overall health and wellness through lifestyle practices and yoga. So if that interests you, consider subscribing for new content on Tuesdays and ringing the bell to get notified anytime a new video posts. So today, I want to give you the bird's eye view of something called the doshas. So to start, let me just ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that there's no one diet or fitness program or even learning style that works for everyone? That is because we are all unique individuals. We all have different needs and methods and practices that are going to work best for us. You've seen this, what works for one person isn't necessarily going to work for you. And this could really be anything. Like, a certain food might give you indigestion, but maybe you've got a friend who can eat anything and never get a stomach ache or heartburn. Or no matter the temperature outside, you're always freezing. That's totally me. But your friend wears shorts comfortably in 20-degree weather. That's my husband. You know people like this, right? This kind of thing happens because we each have a unique mind-body makeup, and it's called our dosha. And every trait and tendency and characteristic can be categorized into one of three dosha types: Vata, Pitta, or Kapha. So we all identify primarily with at least one of these. Sometimes we identify equally with two, and more rarely, people can actually identify equally with all three. But whether you most identify with one or two or all three, your dosha type is what makes you unique. It dictates everything about you. It's what makes you you. Your dosha defines your physical attributes, your mental and emotional tendencies, your perceptions and your strengths, your pitfalls. It drives who you are. And knowing your dosha type is really powerful information, because once you know your dosha, you can then make smart choices based on it about things like what you should eat, how and when you should exercise, what kind of schedule can you keep to be most productive, what kinds of practices can you implement to bring yourself into balance. So it's really personal, because again, what works for one person may not work for you. Now, let's take a step back here and look at all of this from a more academic point of view. To do that, we really just need to look at the bigger picture to understand all of this. In nature, there are five main elements. There's space, air, fire, water, and earth. In Sanskrit, these are known as the Mahabhutas. But these five elements are really just terms that represent the principles of nature. So everything in nature and in each of us has a unique blend of those five elements. Now, within humans, the elements of space and air show up as movement and circulation in our bodies. The fire element shows up in things like our metabolism, our digestion, our cognitive and mental processes. Water shows up in the different fluids that nourish our bodies. So we're talking things like plasma and spinal fluid. And then finally, the earth element shows up as our physical form. So our bones, our muscle, our tendons, those kinds of things. And it's these five elements, space, air, fire, water, and earth, that combine to create three energies that govern us and all of nature. And of course, those are the doshas, which again are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Now, maybe you already know your dosha. I, for example, know that I am a Vata Pitta. I am actually bi-doshic. But if you don't know your dosha, you can take a quiz to find out what it is. So I actually have a dosha quiz linked below that will give you much more comprehensive and detailed results than most of the dosha quizzes that I have come across. Again, that is linked below in the description for you, but you can do a simple search online and you will find these quizzes on multiple sites. Whichever quiz you complete, The results will help you figure out which dosha or combination of doshas you are, and that information will equip you with just really helpful knowledge for anything else that you learn about Ayurveda and how you can apply it to your own lifestyle choices. Now, really quickly, if you are brand new to this concept of Ayurveda, I do have a video explaining just in a broader sense what this is all about, how it applies to your everyday lifestyle, health, and wellness. So I will link that here and below in the description for you. But let's look at each of the dosha characteristics. Now, I can guarantee you're going to see yourself in one or more of these descriptions. So let's start with Vata. Vata is responsible for all types of movement within the body and within our minds. Vata is made of the elements of space and air. So Vata is like the wind. It's dry and light, subtle, irregular. It's quick and mobile. It's cold, rough, and changeable. So people with the Vata dosha, they're always moving. They are flighty, they light up a room, and they're really, really chatty, but they also bring the drama. They have mood swings, but they're really creative and really expressive. They're very animated. Vatas also get caught up in their heads. Their minds are always moving from one thing to the next. So they've got a ton of ideas, but they often don't finish what they start. Now, physically, Vatas tend to have a light, slender frame. They have dry skin and dry hair, and they also tend to have irregularity when it comes to their bodily functions. So their digestion isn't super strong, and their appetite is inconsistent. So think of a hummingbird. Hummingbirds represent all things Vata. They're small, they're slight, and they're very flighty, right? They zoom from flower to flower. Their wings are always flapping energetically a mile a minute. That is Vata through and through. So when you think of Vata, you could think of the qualities of a hummingbird. Do any of those traits sound like you? It's interesting, right? All right, let's move on to Pitta. Pitta's job is to transform things. Pitta is responsible for all digestion. Now, we're not just talking about gut health and how we digest our food. Pitta is what helps us digest and metabolize our experiences. So what we hear, what we see, what we feel, what we smell, this is all experience that's got to move through us. And Pitta helps us do that. It helps us digest our experiences. So Pitta, the Pitta dosha, it's made up of the elements of fire and water. Its main qualities are that it's hot, it's light, it's intense, penetrating, it's spicy, it's sharp, and it's acidic. So you can imagine how that might show up in people who have a dominant Pitta dosha, right? People who have dominant Pitta, they're just more fiery. They're really sharp too, and they like to assess and delve into why things are the way they are. Pittas are great leaders. They are visionaries. They are great communicators. They tend to be opinionated and they can get pretty competitive, but Pittas are also highly organized. That said, they also get easily annoyed by mistakes. Now, physically, Pittas are athletic and they're muscular and they have a medium build. They have really sharp features that sometimes come to a point, like their noses, their jaw lines can be really sharp. Their eyes will pierce right through you. Pittas have sensitive skin as well, but Pittas have incredible digestion. This is kind of the Pitta superpower. Pittas can eat anything without developing gut issues, which makes sense, right? Pitta's fiery. Therefore, someone with a Pitta dosha is going to have really good digestive fire as well. So think of an eagle. Eagles are sharp, not just physically with their sharp beaks and their piercing eyes, but their senses are sharp, right? They are keen and calculated when they catch their prey. Eagles also have a very strong build, and all of those features, that's classic Pitta. So do you see yourself in any of those qualities? This is eye-opening stuff, right? You could probably think of people that you know that fit these qualities too. But let's move on. Finally, we have Kapha. Kapha's job is to hold things together. It's responsible for structure and protection. So Kapha is very sturdy and it's also very consistent. The Kapha dosha is made up of the elements of water and earth. So its qualities are heavy and cold and solid, stable, wet and smooth and slow. So how does this manifest in us? Kaphas love to take care of other people. They are really nurturing and laid back, and they're very patient. They don't get angry easily, and they take their time to respond when they're provoked. But Kaphas can also get lazy. Now, physically, Kaphas are strong. They are sturdy. They tend to have a larger build with round, curvy features, and they have a tendency to be overweight. Now, Kaphas have thick hair, they have great skin, like youthful, hydrated skin, and they tend to have large features like big eyes and larger teeth and bones. So think of a swan. Swans are so content to just glide on the water. They're just drifting around, they're graceful and they're slow, and they don't really move unless they have a reason to. Think about this too. Physically, they have curvy, round features. Their sloping necks, their large, round bodies. These are classic Kapha characteristics. So, we've scratched the surface now on doshas, right? Based on these descriptions, which dosha sounds most like you? I'm really curious to hear, so let me know your initial thoughts about what your dosha might be in the comments. Are you more Vata? Are you more Pitta or Kapha? Again, I'm a proud Vata Pitta right here. So to recap, knowing your dosha type, this is such powerful knowledge for you to have as you start to learn more about Ayurveda, which I will help you do on this channel. And as you start to understand how your dosha factors into your daily choices that you make toward balanced health and overall wellness, knowing your dosha gives you this incredible edge to make choices that positively affect your well-being. It's powerful stuff. Now, even though you probably have some initial ideas about your own dosha type, I would still strongly encourage you to take a dosha quiz and see what kind of results you get, because these dosha quizzes can uncover things that you weren't aware of. So when I took my first dosha quiz, which was a couple of years ago, it completely opened my eyes to a lot of things that I hadn't considered. So you might even find that you have more than one primary dosha, like I did. So again, the link to my quiz is in the description. And to reiterate, my quiz is more comprehensive and detailed than most others you're gonna find online. So I do recommend taking that one, but you can find others through just a simple online search. So the choice is yours. But that's your basic overview of the doshas and how they show up in each of us. Now coming up, we're gonna kick off a series that takes a little bit of a deeper dive into each dosha type and what kinds of lifestyle and diet recommendations go along with each of them. So this is where you could start to actively make choices to create health for yourself on a daily basis. It gets so impactful. So watch for that. That'll be coming up next. Friends, if you like this video, let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. You can also share this video with someone who might find it useful. And please comment below with what you found helpful about this video, or just what you think your dosha type might be. I'm really interested in that. In the meantime, I invite you to download my app. It's called Wellness with Katie, and it's available on iOS and Google Play, and also as a web app. So there, you can kickstart your journey to wellness with my free Revitalize Challenge. It's 14 days to help you simply feel better. So it's on-demand yoga classes, it's wellness tips and stretching sequences, and I have put all those details below in the description, plus some other resources that you might find helpful. Friends, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.